So, welcome everybody. Today we're doing a 999 Portal collective reading. This is going to be posted on YouTube later if you'd like to check it out. Today we have 3 piles that you'll be able to choose from. So, the first one we have here is this yellow shell. And it says, "How can I surrender even more in this moment?" The next one we have is, "What is the most limiting belief keeping me from what I want right now?" And we have this shell here. And this third one here is, "If I had a magic wand and could have anything I desired in life, what would I choose?" We have this shell here. Now the 99 Portal and the general energy for right now is about shifting in our emotions. So 999 is all about endings, new beginnings, and so because of that, with this lunar eclipse and moon in Pisces, it's all about emotional release. So what can we let go of, and what are we making room for? You know, what drives our passions and our projects. So based on that energy, if you would like to connect in and take a breath and select whichever reading you would like, and we will get onto the piles. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose this pile, your pile is represented by the yellow shell. Yellow represents the solar plexus, so you could be considering things about your creativity and your passions. And we have the card, "How can I surrender even more in this moment?" And we'll read a bit more into this card later in the reading. So first we'll get some oracle cards to see what the general energy is. I'm going to be using the Starseed deck today to see what kind of energies are we letting go of, or do we need to make room for anything? Is there anyone that wants to connect in with you? Let's have a look. So we have lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. So maybe in terms of what you can surrender, that, you know, in letting go, there's a need for some surrendering, and a reason for that is that it's scary to let things go sometimes. And when it comes to fear, we usually have to let things go more. Let's get some more cards. Get one more. I remember. Soul plan. The fated life versus the destiny life. Okay, let's put these down here. So maybe it's surrendering to your soul plan, surrendering to fate. Destiny is something that sometimes we have more control over, but in terms of surrender is asking you to let go of that control. Let's get some tarot cards now. So I think for pile number 1 in particular, this reading, you know, it has purple energy. So let's read the back of this card so that I can kind of get more of a feel for what this pile's about. before we go into the tarot. It is essential to have clear, strong intentions of what we desire, but it's equally important for us to detach from the outcome. It's time to surrender. Let the universe have some breathing room to work. Let go of the wheel and trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet, but you know is coming. Today's soul action. Know this so deeply that your soul vibrates. You are not alone. Your life has purpose, and the more you surrender, the more God can produce miracles in your life. Today's mantra is, I surrender, I accept all that I cannot change, and I release the outcome, and I joyfully trust the process. My God, this card is so shiny white as well. It's glowing. So, yeah, it's kind of like, so when it comes to I remember, I think a big topic right now within this portal is letting go of what the ego wants and allowing room for what the soul wants, and that this surrendering kind of reminds me of that, and trusting the universe, and lifting the veil is that, and the veil is so thin right now with the energies that we have. So I think right now for pile number 1 would be a good time to explore with some shadow work, and in exploring that fear, surrendering to the unknown, surrendering to the universe, and trusting that you will get what you need, and maybe doing some past life work as well. There's plenty of past life meditations on YouTube. I don't have any. I've been considering doing meditation work on my channel. Let me know if you would be interested in that. I do have some active imagination on there already, but I was just seeing that nobody was really interested in that, so I'm sure you can still find some. Okay, dropping cards. So how can you surrender even more in this moment? Let's find out. What does Spirit have to say? How can you surrender even more? What are the steps that you need to take, or what is the guidance? What is the guidance? Oh, the 7 of Cups. Okay, so could be dealing with, a lot of choices right now based on what you want, and that makes total sense for you, because it could be like deciphering between, the egoic wants. We have this card again. This card has been coming up so much these past couple days. We have the 6 of Intelligence, which is the 6 of Swords in reverse. Oh, and this is the 7 of Wisdom, which is the 7 of Cups. This is the Dungeons and Dragons deck, if anyone was wondering. And I'll link all of these cards in the description of the YouTube video as well. So we have the Ace of Swords. Okay. So what these cards are telling me about this story so far is that there is a part of you that is confused. This light here that he's reaching for is an illusion, right? It's an illusion created by this monster behind him, and the monster being the ego, the shadow. So it could be a warning, that if you go for something that like looks shiny initially, but it's feeding the ego, it's not feeding your soul, you could wind up trapped in that. And now it's the shadow and the ego is something to explore and understand and work with, not necessarily something to push away. So in that way, maybe that's part of the surrendering as well, is some self-forgiveness. And yeah, it's, questioning everything. So really dig into, during this time, what
is aligned with me? What do I have that's serving my ego versus what do I have that's serving my soul? And anything that's serving the ego has to go. And that's what's scary, and that's why you're being asked to surrender, which makes total sense. You know that it would be difficult to let go of what the ego wants because it feels like it's protective. It feels like it's protecting you. But it's not. It's stopping you from moving forward, which is what the Six of Intelligence, aka the Six of Swords, is all about, especially in this deck. So, with the Six of Swords in this deck, it is an energy of moving out of the darkness and into the light in order to gain a new perspective. And I'm hearing like that's not to discount the perspectives that you've learned from being in the dark as well, because there's a lot to learn from that shadow side. However, be careful again to not choose an egoic thing because that may weigh you down in the long run. I feel like right now the decisions that we're making are really paramount, especially as we transition into a new collective energy during this portal. So please, if you are needing to reevaluate, don't choose based on your fear. That's where the ego's coming from, and that's where the surrender will be. With the Ace of Charisma, though, this is the Ace of Pentacles. So this will be something new in the material realm. So this read in particular could be about a career, and it could be about, and of course, only take what resonates. It could be about the fact that you're wanting to do something to make money, or you're in a job that you really don't like and you're working 9 to 5 and you're too scared to give up that job because of the security that it holds, but it's not real security. It's not true security. The only thing it's doing is allowing your ego to feel safe but not your soul, and that's causing you to be fragmented. So the best thing to do is to evaluate what it is you really want. What are the opportunities around you in the physical realm? And maybe it's not something that's been fully presented to you yet, but it could maybe only be presented to you once you surrender, once you, and I'm not telling anyone to quit their job because I also know people need to survive. That is a thing, unfortunately. However, what I am saying is, can you evaluate a way to slowly maybe build something that you've always wanted to build, or learn a skill you've always wanted to learn, and slowly let go of that other job and maybe surrender to the unknown? Because sure, it's giving you a sense of security, but it's more coming from fear. It's like staying in that fear-based place, right? So let's get just a few more cards to see if there's anything else. So we have the Page of Cups. Yes, this is all about going on an adventure. Just look at her. You know, she's it's the beginning of an adventure. She's looking onto the horizon and she's about to embark on a new journey. And because it's the Page of Cups, it's particularly about learning about something that is emotionally fulfilling to you. So it could be something creative. Maybe you like to make music. Maybe you like to write. Maybe you like to make art. Maybe you need to make a routine of learning or find someone to help to teach you. That's not necessarily what this card is about, but we'll see what the rest of the cards say. And embark on a journey of learning about something that is gonna emotionally fulfill you. And we have the Ace of Cups as well. So this would be really good for you. You can see like there's a light in his heart, and we have a bear here and a fox here. in this card, and this is a druid. So maybe it's talking, it could be, do you want to do something to do with nature? Do you want to, learn more about animals or the esoteric reasons for them, or maybe learn how to grow your own plants? I don't know, but whatever it resonates with you, it could be something really emotionally fulfilling. It could be something really emotionally fulfilling for you. Just something that's going to fill up your cup with love, right? And I'm getting more career from this, but with the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wisdom, it could be a new love interest. Oh, okay, we got the Five of Intelligence, the Five of Swords. So again, with this push and pull from the ego. Now, the Five of Swords in traditional tarot talks about walking away from something and feeling like walking away from something. So the Five of Swords, the traditional card, they're walking away from a battle. And they have all the swords in their hands, and even though they've won, it still feels like a loss. And I think here the swords that this person is holding can kind of represent the ego and like how it's not important that you win in terms of like the material items or like ideas. Swords are ideas usually, but I'm thinking of a different way of looking at it, kind of like, oh, but the people that you met, you still end up losing those people, rather than, you know, so the Five of Swords, it's in this deck as well, it talks about competition. But something I can see here as well is like the vase is being pulled apart and the shadows coming out. And what I like about this card is it's in like a sanctuary kind of place with water. So it's almost like the shadow coming out and it being very emotional, and um it being, maybe it like it being healed almost. Okay, so for everyone coming in, I'm doing collective readings. I have 3 piles. This is the first pile. You'll be able to find the full video on YouTube later. And then after I do those collective readings, you'll be able to use channel points for a reading, or you can pay $2 per card, or you can subscribe to get a free 3-card reading. But yeah, hello to Guru Prasad. Did I say your name right? Guru Prasad. And Starry Momo. Thank you for coming in, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the collective readings. So let's just get let's finish out the rest of these cards to see what the story is. They're really flying out now. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and get one more. That's 2. We'll get this one. The Chariot in reversed. Okay, so, and the King of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Let's see if I can just fit this in right here. So what I'm getting is maybe in terms of what your soul wants, or how can you surrender more. The Queen of Pentacles could be maybe like you want to focus on like how can you nurture yourself and other people. The Queen of Pentacles is very abundant. She has everything she needs. So maybe you're being called to focus on like, well, what do you need and want from a soul level, not from a fear egoic level. And of course we have the Five of Cups here, the Five of Wisdom, which talks about, you know, paying too much attention to what you've lost. So it could be that you've lost a lot and there's a need to let go of that and realize the opportunities you do have. But the Chariot here is a calling to slow down and to look at that first before you continue. Look at your mindset and kind of change it to transform it, because change is something but transformation is another. So transform your mindset perhaps by looking at your ego, processing past pains, remembering your soul plan and questioning what's aligned with you, what's not aligned with you, surrendering to the universe in order to, you know, actually manifest what your soul is truly wanting. It's much more difficult to manifest. In fact, I would say impossible from an egoic standpoint. And even if you do manifest from an egoic standpoint, you may get what you want, but there will be more consequence. The King of Intelligence being on the bottom of the deck is telling me that in your shadow energy right now, you're actually really good with logic, whoever this reading is for. Like, maybe more than you realize, your shadow, your masculine, it's you're more leaning towards masculine, and maybe there's a need for more feminine energy, more like emotional processing, more forgiveness, nurturing energy. And in this card, even he's surrendering. Look, he's surrendering to this God. So maybe it is a calling to surrender to God, to surrender to the divine beings, and trust. Trust that you will receive what you need. So this was pile number one's reading for the 999 portal. Thank you so much. I hope you got the information you need. If you feel that you resonated with any of the other piles, feel free to watch those as well. What is the most limiting belief keeping me from what I want? What I want. Give it to me, baby. Maybe that's that could be a synchronicity, that song. Rude Boy by Rihanna. Maybe there was a rude boy or a rude girl who gave you a limiting belief. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what we have for you. Yeah. Wanna want. Give it to me, baby, like boom, boom, boom. Call me rude boy, girl. Okay. So, welcome to your reading, pile number 2. I'm feeling really sassy during this reading, so I'm getting like fire energy. Could be a fire sign. So your question is, what is the most limiting belief keeping me from what I want right now? What do you want? what do you want and why aren't you getting it? So this is the for some reason I thought of the star card. When I picked up this shell, I heard the star. So this could be like a big wish fulfillment coming in for you during this collective reading. But what you need to do first is find out what is your limiting belief. What is holding you back? So let's read what this has to say. What story are you telling yourself? When you think about your dreams, what is the first limiting thought that comes to your mind? If you are not living the life you desire, it's because a part of you doesn't believe it's possible. Today's soul action. It's time to upgrade. Look your belief in the eye. Where did it come from? What new belief are you ready to adopt in its place? How will this change your results? Remember, your belief is the root of your result. Own it, heal it, upgrade it. Yeah, this is definitely a time for upgrading. That's for sure. I think if you were to do a journal prompt specifically from this card, it would be asking yourself things like, why have I not done that thing yet? And like, what fears come up when I think about doing that thing? So let's have a look and see what the Star Oracle has to say. Doing a cleansing breath and seeing what do the stars have to say. What kind of energies are we bringing in right now? What does pile 2 need to know? Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. Ooh, so maybe you want to be a singer. And maybe you need to dive deep into what your limiting belief is because it's deep in your shadow. Now, I don't know much about whales and orcas, but they're definitely a very spiritual animal. You could have some Atlantean past life energy or Lemurian, maybe. Art school. Life lessons, soul growth, study higher learning. So, what is this card? What is this Earth School card about? Well, this kind of reminds me of the Fool card. Taking a leap of faith. And maybe it's also forgiving yourself for having this limiting belief in the first place, because limiting beliefs are almost always karmic. And so it's like one of the reasons you came here, one of the reasons you came to Earth. So this is definitely more, are you a starseed maybe? Are you from originally, another galaxy? With Earth School, it's saying that whatever this limiting belief is, you came here to have it. It's something to be grateful for as well, because it's what you can learn from. And in overcoming this limiting belief, maybe part of your purpose, and only take it if it resonates, will be to help people through this same limiting belief. And that can be through music as well, self-expression and expressing our emotions and our life lessons can really be a way of teaching and learning as well. Learning. So this pile is a lot about learning. There's something for you to learn here. And could perhaps be particular about music. So let's see what's in store for this pile. Ooh. Thank you. We got 3 cards. So we have Judgment in reversed, the Hanged Man in reversed, and the Eight of Pentacles. So I just heard with the Hanged Man in reverse, now is not the time to wait. That's what I heard. So there's something holding you back from doing the slow and steady work of learning a new thing. And this is not coming from a higher place. It's almost like they really want you to open up to divine guidance during this time, especially for processing this limiting belief, because you already have what it takes to do this, whatever this thing is. And yeah, with the Hanged Man, it's like, I'm hearing like you've already got the perspective you need. You've already learned what it is you need to learn in order to embark on this new journey, which makes complete sense for the 999 portal, because we are closing out new chapters during this time. And Judgment in reversed is telling me like, we're trying to make way for you. We're trying to help you. But, you know, if you don't ask the higher beings for help, or if you reject their help, if you reject the opportunities because maybe this limiting belief is holding you back from doing that, and they still love you and they'll still forgive you. This reading is giving me a bit more of tough love though. You know, there's a need to accept the help as well and ask for help and guidance. So we have the Queen of Cups. So yeah, very emotional time, very nurturing as well. The Magician, the Star, but it's in reverse. Okay, so maybe are you, with the Star in reverse, I heard like, are you chasing something that's not actually your dream because you don't believe in your actual dream? Oh, the shell fell. And I did hear the star when you know, I picked up this shell earlier. So the star being in this reading and being in reverse is a really important card, whatever it's representing. So the star is also about our values. It's about the North Star, and it's about, you know, whatever we pour into the lake, then nature gives back to us. So maybe you're not fully in line with your values. Maybe you're fragmented because you're not following that path, because you're not, because your limiting beliefs are holding you back. And maybe you need some time to nurture yourself so that you can manifest, and so you can realize like, oh, actually I can do anything that I set my mind to. I can do that. I'm not feeling called to pull that card. 3 more cards, please. Oop. Oh, well, they gave me 4. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna take the one on the bottom. Go away. And the bottom of the deck, we have the World in reversed. So I'm just gonna put that there. So we have the Hierophant in reversed, the 3 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Cups. If you felt called to the first pile, feel free to go watch that as well, because I do feel like they're very linked. The first pile was more about the ego and letting go of what the ego wants, and that could be something that's limiting you as well, especially with the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups also appeared in the first pile. This pile in particular though, with the Hierophant in reverse, I heard there could be a figure that's been in your life that has more traditional values, and so they didn't believe in what you wanted to do and they projected that onto you. Because the Hierophant in reverse usually talks about an authority figure that upholds more tradition, but they've maybe been a negative influence on you. It could also talk about the fact that in terms of spiritual learning, you've strayed from that path. You're not doing it as much as you could be. Um, and in order to connect with the star, in order to connect with your dream, it might be a good time to explore more spiritual aspects of your life. With the Three of Charisma, the Three of Pentacles, if there are other people you can work with, other people you can talk to about what you are healing from, someone who might be supportive, someone who might listen, or even point out to you ways that you think you're limiting yourself, or support you and help you affirm that, you are worthy of what you want, because the limiting belief might come from the fear that other people might not accept you, or maybe it's the fear that people will think you're stupid or silly because you've been called those things by people before. With the Seven of Cups, it's a calling. It's asking you to pick something. Another meaning for the Seven of Cups is that the Seven of Cups has all of these dreams, but he needs to bring them down into reality. So with this Eight of Charisma card, it could be calling you to bring your dreams down into reality and take small actionable steps. The Eight of Charisma is about hard work, but that hard work is more in small quantities over time. It's slow, steady work. The Pentacles are slow, steady cards. With the World in reverse, it's kind of like there's a cycle that wants to close out, but it's not quite closed yet, but you're almost there. There is a little bit of resistance to closing it out due to the limiting beliefs and the fear factor, but I'm sure pile number 2, if you overcome that with some journaling and speaking to other people about what you're going through and self-nurturing and focusing on recognizing you can manifest anything, but affirmations is one thing for manifestation, so is the slow and steady action. Now isn't necessarily the time to sit around and not do anything. It's more like, okay, we need you to remove these limiting beliefs so that you can slowly work towards what it is that you want. And there is a lot of confusion. It's like that you don't fully know. Well, you do know in your soul what you want, but it might be kind of cloudy and murky because of these limiting beliefs. And if you're going to get in contact with anyone in particular to help you with this from a spiritual standpoint, I'm hearing that the Lemurians or the Atlanteans, maybe they want to help you. Sedna's energy, she is a mermaid goddess. Her energy is quite prominent right now at this time, and she's been helping me a lot. So, and the Atlanteans as well, I speak to them a lot, they help me a lot. So feel free to, yeah, maybe get in contact with them, and just know that this is all part of the journey and you're learning, and no matter what, your spirit team will still love you. And I feel like you need to hear that. I feel like you need to forgive yourself and open up to help from higher beings. So this was pile number 2's reading. Thank you so much for watching. If you feel like you resonate with any of the other piles, feel free to go ahead and take a look at them. Thank you for listening, and good luck with manifesting your dreams. Yes, you've got this. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. For your reading, we have this swirly shell here. It kind of reminds me of a hermit shell. Have you been a hermit recently? Do you need to get out of hermit mode, or is it your time to kind of be in it, to evaluate? I don't know, we'll find out. So your prompt from the Soul Truth Tarot, the Soul Truth Oracle, is if I had a magic wand and could have anything I desired in life, what would I choose? It's okay if you if you miss the collective readings, they'll all be posted on YouTube. So for this card here, it asks, burn with the desire. There is power in your desires. Let them be your fuel today. Your desires are your soul's wings, and it's time to take flight. Today's soul action. Today go inward. Your answers lie within. What do you desire? Choose what makes you happy and do that. So if you feel called to pile number 2, I would definitely recommend this, because pile number 2 talks about limiting beliefs and following your dreams, and I feel like this pile would definitely connect in with that. So let's pull some Starseed Tarot. Let's see what the astral realms have to say about your situation, pile number 3. Oh, so we got Hiraeth, longing for homes, homesick for the stars. Do you feel like out of place in the world, or like you don't really belong? Like you would prefer to like live in space or something? Or like you're from another dimension or another planet? Do you feel like Earth isn't your home? It could be calling you to perhaps explore that side of yourself. I don't know. We're going to find out what else. Oh, we got 2 more. Lifting the veil. So if you connected with the first pile as well, they had lifting the veil in their reading. I would definitely recommend that. So lifting the veil, questioning everything unaligned must go. Let me put that. And double mission, Lightworker Starseed, serve the world by being you, and he is serving. Look at him. He's got his golden. He's golden. Reminds me of the K-pop Demon Hunter song. Now I'm shining like I wanna be. So maybe believe in yourself. Serve the world by being you. So what does this have to do with what you desire? So in terms of what you desire, maybe these are some things that you could question. If you are longing for home, or you're homesick for the stars, what I first initially heard was it could be a calling to find other people in your life who are on a similar path, so you can connect with your home in that way. It could also be a calling to astral project or do active imagination work, so that you can go back and into your past lives and like meet some people from these realms. Lifting the veil and really getting rid of anything that doesn't serve you is really going to help you to manifest what you desire. And as well as by being you, right? Because what you truly desire from a soul level is, and if you go on that path, then you're going to be being authentic, and in being authentic, you're already doing everything you need to do for the world. You're serving the world by being who you are. And this is saying as well that you are a light worker and a starseed, so you're here to help elevate the earth's vibration and also receive guidance from the stars. So let's get some tarot for this. Oh, thank you. So we have the Hanged Man, Two of Strength. So this is Two of Wands. Get one more. The Emperor in reversed. Okay, so I feel like for this pile in particular, it's asking you to pause and gain a new perspective before you embark on a journey, or you've been on a journey, but with the Two of Wands, that he's got everything he's ever wanted, like from a material, egoic standpoint. But he still feels like something's missing because he didn't go on the proper journey in order to achieve it. So I feel like the Hanged Man is asking you to gain a new perspective on, you know, what is it that's going to fulfill you on your journey? Where do you want to go? And also a new perspective on the structures that you're currently in, your routines, and your self-control. This one wants to come out. Strength in reverse. So maybe feeling like giving up. I'm sorry if you're feeling that way, pal number 3. I am getting kind of heavier energy in this read. Kind of like, yeah, I feel like pile number 2 would really resonate with you as well. You know, it feels like there's something holding you back from choosing what makes you happy. Maybe you don't feel like you deserve it. But strength in reverse can also tells us that you are giving too much into your ego. That you are, and that's kind of where this unstructuredness might come from, is because it's good to still to have those desires. It's not good to be giving into them all of the time, right? 9 of Swords. So being really in your head. The Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay, for the last 2 cards, can you give us some good news, please? 7 of Pentacles. Four of Intelligence in reversed. Okay, well, they're kind of just telling you how it is, pile number 3. So whoever your guides are, they must be quite straightforward. And we have the 10 of Strength on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, I'm getting kind of a heavier energy from this reading. Whoever this is really going through it right now. I feel like I need to tell you that maybe you need to seek help, like therapy. Because but the thing is, with the 10 of Strength, which is the 10 of Wands, you're at the end of this. So you're almost there. Because as soon as he pushes forward, he reaps his reward. And he goes to the Page of Wands. So I think that there is a lack of rest in this pile. Like, whoever this is really needs to rest. Really needs to take some time for yourself and focus inward. So maybe you do need to go into hermit mode a little bit. As in, like, take some time for yourself. In this card in particular, the Mind Flare represents the ego. And so what you're being called to do is align with your heart space. You know, there's an eye here. Now, the eye can represent the third eye, but it's also representing seeing from the heart space. There's kind of a lack of feminine, nurturing energy. in your life in terms of what you give yourself. And with the Seven of Pentacles, it's kind of like you're reaping the rewards of something, but it isn't everything that you thought it was going to be. And so there's a need to kind of reevaluate what do you desire, what do you want to create, but like take time on this. um Take time to regain your strength, to feel through your emotions. And yeah, there's a really big need for rest. And through doing that and kind of separating from and hermiting a bit more and separating from opinions, still get help for like processing your mental health stuff, but in terms of like people's opinions about what it is you want to do, you might want to be careful about whose opinions you're taking in or who you're listening to, because I'm getting like you're quite sensitive to that and you need to kind of evaluate it based on your soul, like what your soul wants, not what other people are saying is best for you. And the resting is going to help you with that a ton. You're going to see more what you're worth if you do that. So yeah, that's pile number 3's reading. This was a bit of a shorter one. But yeah, I wish you the best of luck in manifesting what you desire.